In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. This is an article that was written by David Martin on the Daily Night website. I've been given permission to make an audio version of it. It's titled Providential Warnings Tied to the Last Apparition of Fatima. The date October the 13th has a special significance in modern church history, since it marked the conclusion of the Virgin Mary's apparitions at Fatima in 1917, wherein she predicted the satanic onslaught against the Catholic Church that would begin to unfold in the latter part of the 20th century. Providentially, several key events of the Church have occurred on October the 13th, which directly relate to the Fatima prophecy. On October the 13th, 1884, Pope Leo the 13th receives a supernatural manifestation wherein he hears a conversation between Christ and Satan, in which the latter says he will destroy the Catholic Church within 100 years. The manifestation occurs exactly 33 years to the day before the great miracle of the sun at Fatima. The 33 is providential in that it directly alludes to the Freemasons in its 33 degrees through which Satan would infiltrate the Vatican after 1960. On October the 13th, 1962, Vatican II is hijacked and falls into the hands of the heretical Rhine group when the decision to elect the pontifically appointed candidates for the drafting commissions is blocked by Freemasons, and a new slate of candidates is drafted, thus deflecting the course of the council. On October the 13th, 1973, the Mother of God delivers her warning at Akita, Japan, which includes this excerpt: "The work of the devil will infiltrate even into the church in such a way that one will see cardinals opposing cardinals and bishops against bishops. The church will be full of those who accept compromises." On October the 13th, 1977, Pope Paul VI declares to the world, "The tail of the devil is functioning in the disintegration of the Catholic world. The darkness of Satan has entered and spread throughout the Catholic Church, even to its summit. Apostasy, the loss of the faith, is spreading throughout the world and into the highest levels within the Church." On October the 13th, 2014, the October 2014 Extraordinary Synod on the Family issues its midterm report, extending unconditional respect and welcome to those of gay orientation, triggers heated debate between the left and the right, bringing to new heights the fulfillment of bishop against bishop, cardinal against cardinal. The hijacking of Vatican II on October the 13th, 1962. Of particular significance is the incident of October the 13th, 1962, the 45th anniversary of the Virgin Mary's last apparition at Fatima, since it opened the door and set in motion a plan for a new secularized church. Let us diverge briefly to recall the turbulent opening session of Vatican II that deflected the course of the council and set the bark of Peter floundering on a new and uncharted course that would eventually land it shipwrecked. At the centre of this coup to overthrow Vatican II were Cardinals Ulfrich, Frings and Leonard of the Rhine Alliance. Their objective was to gain control of the conciliar drafting commissions. A crucial vote was to be taken to determine the members of the commissions when Cardinal Leonard, a suspected Freemason, seized the microphone during a speech and demanded that the slate of 168 candidates be discarded and that a new slate of candidates be drawn up. His uncanny gesture was heeded and the election was postponed. The date was October the 13th, 1962. In his February the 14th, 2013 address to the clergy of Rome, Pope Benedict XVI brilliantly recounts this coup d'etat at Vatican II. On the programme for this first day were the elections of the commissions, and lists of names had been prepared in what was intended to be an impartial manner, and these lists were put to the vote. But right away, the fathers said, "No, we do not simply want to vote for pre-prepared lists. We are the subject." Then it was necessary to postpone the elections because the fathers themselves wanted to prepare the lists themselves. And so it was. Cardinal Leonard of Lille and Cardinal Frings of Cologne had said publicly, "No, not this way. We want to make our own lists and elect our own candidates." The preeminent Romano Amarillo, who had contributed significantly to the drafting of the original Vatican II outline, cites how the legal framework of the Council was violated by this act. This departure from the original plan came about by an act breaking the Council's legal framework, so that the Council was self-created. After illicitly blocking the vote, this rebellious Rhine group resorted to bearish methods to install several of their own members onto the drafting commissions, so that from October the 16th on, nearly 60% of the commissions that were now chaired by suspect theologians that previously had been restricted under Pius XII. These would include dissenters like Hans Kuhn, Schillenbach, and the pseudo-mystic Karl Rahner, the council darling, who for the entirety of Vatican II was dating the notorious feminist Louise Rinser, who had clamoured for abortion and women priests. The enemies of the faith had captured the key positions of the council, which then enabled them to scrap John the 23rd's plan for Vatican II, his 72 schemas, and to draft perfidious documents for the misguiding of the Church, that is, the 16 documents of Vatican II. Hence was born the Vatican II Revolution. What would ensue from that point was a perfidious council that would alter the mindset and practice of countless millions of Catholics. Chanting would eventually give way to strumming. Silent adoration would give way to liturgical festivity. And a new Mass, with the priests facing the people, would bring about a historic shift of focus where the emphasis is on the people and not on God. The new Mass, under the title Novus Ordo Seclorum, or New World Order, would set the stage and begin paving the way for the coming new world order, which the Pope himself, that is Francis, would bring to a head. What would culminate in the end is the fulfillment of the Blessed Virgin's prophecy at La Salette in 1846. Rome will lose the faith and become the seat of Antichrist. Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto, sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper et in saecula saeculorum. Amen.